There are about 3.5 billion people in the world, and the richest 1% of people manage 48% of all the wealth. The 80 richest people are worth as much as half of all the people in the world. Taking these numbers into account, it is clear that there is a gap between the rich and the poor. A lot of people think that these rich people got their money by being born into money or winning the lottery, but that's not true. In fact, only 11 of the 80 richest people got their money from family or friends. The other 69 worked hard and were determined to make it on their own. And one of these 69 people is none other than Warren Buffett, the master trader. Many of these wealthy people, including Warren Buffett, came from middle-class families. However, they were able to gain the knowledge and skills that helped them become worth over $70 billion. We've all seen people who have a lot of money and people who have almost nothing. But have you ever stopped to think about what really makes rich people rich and poor people poor? Yes, the obvious answer is that rich people have a lot more money than poor people. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things other than money. In reality, both rich and poor people can live in the same place, have access to the same jobs, and have 24 hours in a day. However, one may be living paycheck to paycheck, while the other may have more money than they could ever spend. What really separates someone who will become rich and someone who will always be poor? Well, let's use our rich friend John and our poor friend Tim to show you what makes them different. Then I'll tell you how you can adopt these rich person habits and become financially successful yourself. John and Tim. First, you should know that John and Tim are both from middle-class homes and have about the same IQ. They also live in the same city. In short, neither man has any advantages over the other. But their bank accounts are very different when it comes to money. John and Tim are both on their way home from work on this Monday afternoon. Before going to bed, Tim numbs himself from the long workday by sitting on his couch and watching boring TV for hours on end. His boss told Tim that he should read more books to improve his chances of getting promoted this year. But Tim doesn't want to read because a new season of his favorite show is out. John starts learning as soon as he gets home by logging into his computer. John spends hours going over his notes for the test he's about to take. Even though John already has a master's degree and a number of other credentials, he works hard every night to get another credential that will help him move up in the company more quickly. John just found out that one of his heroes, Dan Locke, spends more than $500,000 a year learning new things. Difference! John thinks that if millionaires are willing to spend that much time and money to learn new things, then he should too. So, the first thing that sets rich people apart from poor people is that they are always learning. When Tim gets to work the next day, his boss starts giving bonuses to everyone. Tim cracks open his package and finds a $100 bonus, which is a lot less than what his friends got. After 10 years at the company, Tim tells his boss that this bonus is embarrassing and that he doesn't deserve it. He then tells Tim's boss that he never stays late to help his team, and that every year since he started, he had less work done. John is working hard on his current job at work across town when his boss comes up to him. His boss gives him a package. When he opens it, he sees a $10,000 check made out to him. John is shocked by the extra and is very grateful for it. John's boss then says that John has been putting in a lot of hours lately and that his most recent project saved the company $1 million in running costs. This was the least that they could do to show appreciation for his work, he says. That's why the second difference is the rich sell value and the bad sell time. It's the following week, and Tim can't wait until Thursday when he gets paid. As soon as his boss gives him his check every 2 weeks, he runs to the bank and starts paying all of his debts. The people he pays every month are his landlady, his utility company, and his income tax payment. Tim finally checks to see how much money he had saved at the end of the month. He looks at his balance and sees that he didn't save any money and that his account balance was less than it was a month ago. Rich people pay first. Tim has no idea where all the money went. John doesn't have access to the $500 that is regularly taken out of his pay and put into a savings account. After checking to see if he has enough money in his savings for the month, John pays his mortgage, his utility company, and the government his monthly income tax bill. John smiles when he sees that his bank account has grown again at the end of the month, making him even richer than he was before. The third difference is that the rich pay themselves last, while the poor pay themselves first. Rich, take care of yourself first. Tim is watching TV one night after work when he sees an ad for a brand new HD TV. Tim can only spend $1,000 on entertainment gear this year, which is how much the TV costs. There is no way that Tim can afford to buy both of these things at the same time since they both cost $500. He has been really wanting to buy the brand new PlayStation. Tim is mad because he wants his boss to not be so bad and give him a bigger bonus so he can buy both. After doing well on his test, John wants to reward himself for his hard work. He chooses to buy a new TV and game system. Even though John only has $1,000 to spend, he really wants both the new high-tech TV and PlayStation system. John doesn't choose between the two. Instead, he thinks about how he can get both. Mindset for growth. John thinks he can do some extra consulting work on the side to get the extra $500 he needs to buy the PlayStation and build himself the perfect game setup to celebrate his big win. The fourth difference is that rich people have a growth attitude, while poor people have a fixed mindset. Tim hates going to work every day, so getting a Frappuccino from Starbucks is something he always does in the morning. Tim is willing to pay $5 a day for his morning coffee fix because he knows he wouldn't be able to make it through even a few hours of work without it. What about John? He walks right by Starbucks every day, but instead of spending money on a latte, he drinks the free coffee at work. He thinks that saving $5 a day on coffee is well worth it, even though the coffee isn't as good as a Starbucks drink. John has been putting away that $5 a day for a year. He now has $1,500 saved up and plans to take his friends on an all-inclusive trip to Mexico, delaying getting what you want. Reading about a study from Temple University taught John that this ability to wait to get what he wants helps him become more like his rich friends. The study ranked the most important things that make someone wealthy. The most important ones were gender, location, schooling, and job title. Delaying instant gratification was more important than many of the more common ones, like age, race, ethnicity, and height. Researchers think that being able to imagine bigger benefits in the future makes people much less likely to give in to short-term pleasures. That's why it was easy for him to say no to his daily latte when he thought about how much fun he would have with his friends on the beach in Mexico. So, difference number 5 is that rich people know how to wait to feel good, while poor people want to feel good right away. Many businesses start letting people go as a way to cut costs when the economy starts to sink. In the afternoon, Tim is doing just enough at work to keep his job by looking through Facebook. Suddenly, he gets a note from his boss. It says, "Please hand in your laptop and badge at the front desk. We are letting you go." Tim starts to worry about how he will pay his bills and rent now that his only source of income is gone. Tim had always thought that having a job meant having job security. After being fired, he started to wonder if this thought was wrong after all these years. John's boss also fires him, which is bad news. On John's last day of work, his boss talks for an hour about what a great worker he is and how he fired everyone else before letting John go. John gladly accepted his fate, thanked his boss for the chance, and told him that he would be okay financially. John understood that no job is safe, so as soon as he started working, he started an online business and added to his dividend stock portfolio. These are now strong enough to keep him going until he gets another job. So the sixth difference is that rich people have more than one way to make money, while poor people only have one. Several ways to make money. Tim is at home with his other loser friends, whining about how bad the market is and how hard it will be to find another job about a week after he was fired. Life has been unfair to them, they say, and they'd be rich if they had the same lucky breaks as other people. The night after he was fired, John has dinner with his close friends at his house. As the group eats, John tells them that his company fired him because of the bad economy. He reassures them that he has other sources of income that will more than cover his current lifestyle. One friend is thrilled to tell John that now is the perfect time to join his construction company and gives him a top job. Another friend joins in and asks John if he wants to start a consulting business with her. They've worked well together before and think it could quickly become one of the best in the city. In this case, difference number 7 is that rich people hang out with other rich people, while poor people hang out with other broke people. Rich people never stop learning. They sell value instead of time. They pay themselves first. They have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. They know how to delay gratification. They create multiple streams of income. And finally, they hang out with other rich people. Rich people are different from poor people. Thanks for watching! Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.